Welcome to day 18 of our play along videos for the January challenge 2018, and we will start by playing our new bars from bar 9, which was what we learnt today, and we'll play that through at a good speed, and then we'll go back to the beginning and play it through at that same speed, and then we'll do the same thing again but at some slightly slower speeds. Here we go. 1, so this is bar 9. 1 and 2 and Excellent. And now we'll do the same speed but from the beginning. So much quieter to start with. 1 and 2 We'll do the same thing now, a little bit slower for those that want it. So we'll start now at bar 9, a bit slower. So this is just today's learning. Bar 9, 1 and 2 and same speed now from the very beginning. 1 and 2 and finally, for anyone that wants it, I'm going to do it slower again. Okay, so again, bar 9 for a really nice steady pace for today's learning. 1 and 2 and that same steady speed now from the very beginning. 1 and 2 and that would like to stick around now, just go through today's learning just in a bit more depth and at a bit steadier pace as well. So today started just like yesterday. The first 2 bars are identical, so we've got the C and E in the left and the finger 2 on that C in the right hand, the middle C, and then you do 3 in a row, C, D, E. So that's the same as yesterday, so you're probably pretty confident with that. The main difference is that today's loud, so you really want to be good and strong Really bend those thumbs and fingers in as you play them. Then we go on to our third and fourth bar of today, or bar 11 and 12 of the piece. And this time our top hand is moving in thirds. So our finger 2 is on the middle C and our thumb is on the E. It's the same 2 notes our left hand's just been playing down here in the bass, just around the middle C note. We play that together. We go down 1 and back to the red. Then we go up 1, our thumb's on the black, and we end up either side of the black. Okay? So really let those be nice high thumb, nice low finger. Good couple of inches or 5 centimetres between where your finger's touching the string, where your thumb's touching the string. Notice how my other fingers are kind of curled in out the way. They're not tight, they're not being tense, but they're not sticking up here either. If they're sticking up here, when I pluck that string, it's going to try and go up there as well. They really do guide the fingers that are on the strings. So play those 2 together, down 1. Really nice and clean and crisp. And I mentioned in the first video that if you find that one finger makes the sound before the other finger, so maybe it's your finger 2 and you actually end up playing. I'm exaggerating a bit, but you might find you're doing something a little bit like that. If it's that way round, say, okay, rather than worrying about that finger, I'm just going to plan for my thumb to sound first instead. And you'll almost certainly find that it'll just pull them into the same point. So you won't end up playing your thumb first, probably. It'll just pull them to being at the same time. And it's a nice way of not overthinking the issue. But it's worth putting it right if it is happening. So, C and E, going down, back up, and up again. Okay, left hand here just got the 3 Gs. Okay, so if we put that together, just those 2 bars, 1 and 2 and okay, that's lovely. That's pretty straightforward as long as you're keeping track of where you are. This next bit, we've got the près de la table, the down by the soundboard, okay? And the top hand first of all sits on C and G. It's playing the same notes we did yesterday at this point, but we were doing them up here then. We're now down here and we're going to add the final C this time as well. So we're going to do 1, 1, 2, and your thumb will have dropped a bit, and that's okay. We don't like to do too much with the thumb down there because it is such an odd position compared to our normal idea of having that thumb up and it being out the way. But and then we put the 2 on the G, the 3 on the E, so that we're either side of that black, just like yesterday. And that really comes into its own when we're down there because you can play those notes really nicely because the thumb's not involved in that weird dropped position. And then we do EC. Okay, so the C to the G's got 2 strings in between it, but then otherwise the 2 to 3 bits, it's got 1 string sitting in the middle. And then you swap to E to the C, so 1 string in the middle. Okay, the left hand is answering our first note of each set with the same note but an octave lower. So we have C, 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 like that. So now we're about to play a G in the right hand, so the left hand's going to answer it with a G. Then we go G, E, so our left hand's going to answer with an E. And then we're doing EC, keeping it down by the board. And the left hand answers with a C. Okay, so it's just the timing then to put right. So if we try that in time, so we've got our hands ready, thumb on the C, finger 2 there, left hand finger 2 on the red. So right hand finger 2's on the G. 1 and 2 and that's it, well done. Okay, and then our last bit, the right hand's back like yesterday, G, F, E, D, C, heading down to there, and we did that 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. So you play your thumb, cross it over, and then pop out 2 and 3 to finish us on middle C. G, F, E, D, C. Okay. Left hand plays a G again. We've done quite a few Gs in this. Then it has G and B, so finger 2 just goes straight back on the G it's just played, and you're adding the thumb a third up, so there's just one string in between them. And then we finish with the low red and the thumb on the G. Okay, and there's a couple of different fingering choices for that last chord there. You could either do like I just did there, where I put my finger 3, I'll show you with this hand, 3 on the red and thumb on the G. Because if I were to pop my finger 2 in the middle note there, you'd see that we had a normal triad shape, but that E's not there. But we'd keep the same finger, the 3 at the bottom, the 1 there. So you could do it 1 and 3 with your left hand. Or you've just been playing the G with a finger 2, and again, you come back for a final finger 2 and add a 4 down there. Okay? If you do that, just watch that that 4th finger doesn't end up really straight. If that 4th finger ends up straight, it catches other strings. So just make sure you've got a nice sort of curve over in that 4th finger to make that really clean. And if you're having any trouble with that at all, then I would recommend the 3 and the 1 fingering instead. Okay, so should we just try once more putting well, we'll put those 2 bars together first of all, and then we'll put today's learning together again. So the last 2 bars from today, the G walking down to the C in the top hand, left hand's also on a G with finger 2, it's going to go to the G and the B, and then we're going to jump to that red at the bottom and the G again. Lots of Gs. So just these last 2 bars, 1 and 2 and let's go back and do the last 4 bars now, so that we have that practice of the bit down by the soundboard going into that life is but a dream part that we've done. So we're on, right hand is thumb on the C, finger 2 on the G, left hand's got finger 2 on middle C, and it's going to answer the top hand each time. 1 and 2 and just play those last 8 bars that we've learnt today then, and then we'll be done. 1 and 2 and well done.